much. And I believe that's not right, because I've seen people, I've seen pastors, I've seen organizations eyeing the places worth about 250,000, 300,000 to host the program. Who's gonna pay for all this? If you have the money as individual, as a person, like, okay, we have someone like Elon Musk in our midst, and it's okay, I want to pay for this program. Or you have a rich guy in among you and say, I want to sponsor this program. But not
even though
to push
it's not
the
good,
bills.
it's not too good to just put it on one person. Think about it. And the next thing I want to say, if a man in the congregation is a leader, if he's the head pastor, assistant pastor, whatever, and he's driving a very expensive car, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Church money.
On church money. And he's got a very expensive house on church money.
On church money.
Then that is very foolish. And you know what? It speaks for itself.
That's right.
All these things, when we look at how a pastor must lead by example. And if he's not leading by example, he's not a pastor. He's a liar.
If a pastor's living expensive life on the church income, I think the pastor is a fake pastor, because I don't see why you have to live. I'm not saying pastor cannot live luxurious life. If you have the money, if you have your job, that's why I always say to all the people, some people, I don't believe a pastor should be, a pastoral work should be a full-time.
The Bible says that, the word says they must live modestly.
Yeah.
They've got to live modestly and they've got to lead by example. So if you're a pastor and you're wearing the latest suits, I'm just saying the latest Gucci suits, and you got the latest shoes that cost you £1,000, you know what I mean? And you got to, even, let's be honest, Peter,
that's right,
you've got the latest Rolls Royce instead of something cheap. Okay. And not, listen, you don't need, Jesus had nothing. But he had faith.
I'm going to have a problem if those things was acquired through the church income.
Not through your own hands.
Not through
Amen.
It becomes a problem.
If it's if you're a full-time pastor, you haven't got time to make your own income.
I don't even think there should be a full-time pastor. I believe as a pastor you must have earnings. You must have business that will be bringing you money.
You can have private business. That's your personal. But remember, when you go to church of numbers, and you have to look after those numbers, and plus the family of those numbers and so forth, there's very little time to have your own business.
That's why we have to be careful turning church as a business,
big time
organization.
It's the biggest mistake the church is making. They're turning the business
you can't run church as a
marketing management business instead of looking at the souls